Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome to Midnight Gypsies podcast. We're doing our Christmas special here at the MGM Grand at the PARAUNITY. We've got some really amazing guests. I want to introduce everybody here today, and I'm actually going to go through the whole room, so I'm going to have you say your name. Come say hi to everybody.
Hi everyone, my name is Rick Steele. I am from Fairfield, California.
Hi, I'm Sidney Colston. I'm from Hancock Park, California.
Heather Schultz from Utah. Yeah. Laura Paddock from northern Utah.
Susan Sparks from Idaho.
And Eric Colwell from Los Angeles, California.
And Robert Scheib from Playa del Rey.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show and thanks for being here. It means a lot to Jackie and I to have you all here, so
Yes,
let's get
thank
started.
You for coming. So we're actually going to have a special guest here as well, Sophia Stewart, who is the writer.
She's the writer-creator of
The Matrix and the Terminator.
Wow.
So she's going to be coming as well, and she should be here any minute now. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and do a live show. We're going to have Dr. Robert Scheib come up and talk about what he wants to share with us about the alien drones, UFO drones, and custodian file. So I'm going to have him come up and go ahead and tell us what he wants to tell us all about it.
Great, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. This is great. Thank you for being here. I'm Playa del Rey, Los Angeles, and retired pharmacist. So I know a little bit about science, and I think if your pharmacist says, "Hey, here's some pills, take these 1-3 times a day," you're not going to say, "Are you sure?" You're just going to take them. You're going to trust them. So I'm here to say that I've made this amazing accidentally discovery. Photography has to do with drones, UFO drones. So that UFOs utilize drones, some very small drones that we don't know. Just like our Pentagon has jets and we have drones, well, UFOs have their jets and they use drones. Well, as it turns out, these drones, they're about 10 inches and they are ubiquitous. They're all over the world. And if you know where to look, you can find them all over social media, YouTube, the internet. They're everywhere. They're just, it's not my discovery, they're everywhere. Somehow I figured it out, it's a long story. But these drones, for some reason, Marina del Rey, Los Angeles is infested with these drones, these UFO drones. We don't know why. That's for other smart people to figure out. I'm here to say that these drones are here, and no faith required, that we have thousands of videos and hundreds of witnesses. There's no more faith required. So these drones, basically they showed up, they're all over YouTube, but they showed up in Marina del Rey 4 years ago. And the reason I know is I lived there, and one day the government came in with the Coast Guard, the Army Black Hawks. They started circling and they never left. I turned on my camera, recorded the helicopters, and you slow it down and you can see these 10-inch drones flying by the helicopters. I call it a tag. When they fly by, I call it a tag. And that was February 2018, and they've never left. They've never left. So for some reason, again, we don't know why Marina del Rey is infested. They just are. Hundreds of pilots, helicopter pilots. If any of you know helicopter pilots in the Army, the Navy, the Coast Guard, the police, Edison helicopters, the fire department, they'll tell you the truth. They'll tell you, yeah, we're chasing something. They have special thermal cameras, heat cameras, and they see these things fly by. They're invisible to the human eye, but you can see them fly by on the cameras. And these pilots have these thermal cameras, they see them. So I think most of them will be honest with you. They'll tell you, yeah, that's what we're doing. We don't know what to do. We can't catch them. They're very fast. They're so fast, it's not believable. They're 1,700 miles an hour, 2,500 feet a second. That's about 1 mile every 2 seconds. It's very fast. I have pictures, I have thousands of videos. So what I've done is, I've taken the videos. Each video is about 1/3 of a second, so they're so fast. I've taken the pictures and I've compressed the videos into a photograph, and I'll bring the picture up to the camera. But basically, these photographs are called interpolations, and you can see where the drone traveled. You can see how it flew up to the helicopter. Sometimes they'll even fly between the rotor blades of the helicopter. Or sometimes they'll just zigzag to show off. And I like that. So these drones are very real. It's not reversible. No more faith required. It's all over the internet. They're all over YouTube. And if you know where to look, they're easily found. And one of the easiest places to look is just look for random helicopters on YouTube. And when you see a flash, when you think you saw a bird or a bug, that's the drone. And you go back and you slow it down. And one particular easy way to find them are military jets, Thunderbirds and Blue Angels. And for some reason, they love the Blue Angels. So if you go to any Blue Angels video, the majority of the time you're going to see this drone fly by. And now I have thousands of videos and hundreds of these interpolations, and everyone in Marina Del Rey gets tagged. So again, who's everyone? The police, the sheriff, the Coast Guard, the fire department, Edison, the Navy, the Army, the Black Hawks, the Apaches, the Ospreys V-22s. Anyone, even the VIPs. If people from Washington fly by, they get tagged, if you know what I mean. So these are all the photos. I'll hold the camera up to them. It's very real. You can see them on Custodian File, YouTube, Custodian File. It's not CGI. I'm retired. I don't joke around like that. I don't know a lot about computers. In fact, I have a flip phone. Yeah, there it is right there. I have a flip phone. So it is what it is. God has shown me this technology, and I'm sharing it. And I've shown it to a lot of smart people. They cannot figure it out. And next month I've been invited to an Air Force base, and I'm going to be the first civilian in history to give a lecture about UFOs at an Air Force base. And I think it's going to go well. I get a good feeling about it, a very good feeling. So these drones are 10 inches. They appear to be copper-based, but we don't know for sure. And we only know they're about 10 inches when in flight. We don't know the size when they're parked. There is a scientific study from 1920, I believe it's called Kowski and Frost, that objects, when they're parked, are very small, but when they take off and accelerate, they enlarge. And I do have videos of this drone parked and accelerating and getting larger. And I'm going to make an interpolation of that video. So this is all brand new technology. It's here to stay. This is not accidental. There is no misinterpretation. There is no accidental, no, you don't know, you're a pharmacist, you're not a rocket scientist, you don't know the science that well. That's DNA, it does not apply. This is exactly accurate. I've shown this to a lot of scientists. They don't know what to say anymore. It is what it is. If any of you know pilots in the Army, the Navy, the police, you can ask them. They may be honest with you, they'll tell you, yeah, this is what's going on, we don't know what to do. It's a big situation. I'm not going to say it's a problem because they haven't created a problem. Maybe in the future it's concerning, but right now it's not a concern. They're friendly based on all the videos, and I welcome any questions. Go on YouTube, Custodian File, and there we are. And if you have any questions now, I can answer them.
Do you believe that a long time ago that we have, as Americans have, or even the United or the world, got the technology that we have now from the aliens?
It's very possible, yeah. If they've been around a long time, if they leave clues, breadcrumbs, they say, hey, look at this. Look at this metal, we got it out of the dirt here. It's copper, it's iron. All you have to do is dig it up. Yeah, those are big clues. Those are seeds. You plant those seeds in science, like what I'm doing right now. I'm planting a seed, and I'm informing people. Now, anyone can do this now. You can go out to your airport, you can record helicopters, slow it down. Highly likely you'll see these drones. We were doing that today at the airport with a few helicopters. We didn't record any of these drones yet, but it's easily done. But yeah, they plant seeds, and that's how you do it. You plant seeds, and then technology quickly comes after. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's pretty simple. That's also what the premise of time travel is. If you time travel, you want to be careful not to leave seeds behind, because you can change history pretty quickly. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to change history that fast. But I'm not changing history. This is part of history. It is what it is. And if it wasn't me, it would be someone else a year from now, 2 years from now. Because it's really the phone, it's the technology we have, it's the iPhone, the digital photography. We're no longer analog, we don't have film that you put in a camera. Cameras can see everything. Last year there was an intern at NASA from high school. They said, here, we got some new cameras, find us something new. He discovered new planets. A month later, he discovered a new planet. It got upset. A lot of the senior astronomers were very upset. They were like, no, that should be our discovery. We've been here 35 years. Why should you have this discovery? New cameras. We all have new cameras. We all have these 4K cameras. And in 3 years, we're all going to have 8K cameras. And we're going to have even more video. It is what it is. They're here. So it's exciting. And finally, that's why there's no faith required anymore. It was great if you had faith in the past. And you're like, no, there's got to be life. Look, there's fish in the Pacific Ocean. There's probably fish in the Atlantic Ocean. There's got to be. Well, there's got to be life in other planets. No more faith required. There's something going on. It's real. Now they're going to say, okay, something's real. Maybe they're from Mars. Maybe they're from Saturn. Maybe who knows where there's something going on. That's all that matters. Whether maybe they're in another country, it doesn't matter. There's something going on. That's where we are. Yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah, have they ever interacted with you on a smart level?
Well, they used to, I've had some small interactions in the 80s, out of body. I went out of body. I interacted with some aliens from the Pleiades. But that was brief. That was only like for a few months.
But were they attached to the drones, or?
No, there is no, all this drone technology started 4 years ago when I started recording them accidentally. Actually, it all started with this one amazing video. It happened in West Covina, California. West Covina, California. I'll bring this up to the camera. The Navy was chasing, you want to bring that up there? The Navy was chasing this UFO for 4 or 5 hours, off and on, off and on. And I got a hold of the video, and I slowed down the video. In the video, this is a spaceship. This is not a drone. It's a 30-foot spaceship. Because 4 seconds before this, it was in front of the windshield of the F-18s. And the silhouettes were equal. So it's about a 30-foot ship. So I analyzed, like, how is this possible? How is this video possible? And I concluded it's the technology of the iPhone, the smartphone, the digital photography. So if this happened once, it's repeatable. Maybe you could record other helicopters or jets. And that's what I've done now. I've recorded other helicopters, other jets. I record jet airliners flying above me. They get tagged. They get tagged by these drones. A lot of people know about this. In the government, they know about this. All the pilots obviously know about it. The people searching these drones, looking for these drones, they know about it. Yeah, technically it's a top secret. Yeah, it's very top secret. There's a lot of stuff top secret. There's stuff much more top secret than this, much more top secret. I know about it. I don't say anything. I'm just talking about these drones. So.
Do you think that someone is operating them remotely?
Most likely, these are remote. I don't think there's a life form because it's a 10-inch copper disc. I don't think there's a life form. If there's a life form, I'd be a little concerned. But yeah, most likely it's it's an RC being remotely, maybe by a mothership in orbit, maybe by someone on another planet. It would be easy. We're operating on 5G. Probably these aliens have something like 200G. They can operate these drones in the blink of an eye from 50 light years away. Easy, easy technology. So these drones do escorts. They escort other 30-foot ships, 40-foot ships. And then when they're not escorting, they're doing recon. They're looking around. They're just measuring our air temperature, our air quality, the noise, pollution, other aircraft. They're always reconning. That's why they're everywhere. They're ubiquitous all over the planet. You pick a city, I could find these drones in that city. And that's where I'm at now.
Do you think that they're kind of looking out for all aircraft, even like, you know, United Airlines, Delta, and all them?
They're looking at everything in the sky, everything.
What about a hot air balloon?
This guy has read my book. I don't have a book, but he's read the book. So, yeah, I don't have a book yet. Not in a hurry. If you're a ghostwriter, I'll work with you. Anything in the sky, Marina Del Rey. So this is really easy. This is consistent science. There's no exceptions. Let me tell you what I mean by no exceptions. You go to the airport, you got to walk through the TSA gate. Doesn't matter who you are, 1 year old, 50 years old, 100 years old, everyone gets checked at the TSA. There are no exceptions. You might think, well, some people should be, just let them through. They're pretty harmless, let them through. The TSA doesn't make exceptions. These drones do not make exceptions. So going back to your question, hot air balloons, everyone gets tagged or gets reconned, gets looked at. So if you're a helicopter, if you're a jet airplane, you could be the president. You're gonna get reconned, you're gonna get tagged by these drones. You can be party balloons, a kite. I have video of all them getting tagged. You can be an earth drone. If you fly your earth drone in Marina Del Rey, these UFO drones will fly up to you. I have that video. It's not theory, I have the video. I have 2 videos.
Well, do you think they're watching us on land as well? I mean, are they just watching every aspect of what we're doing?
They're watching everything. They're listening to all radio, television transmissions, satellite transmissions. Yeah, they're plugged in. Now, LAX, Marina Del Rey is LAX, and next to LAX is the industrial military complex, where all our top secret satellites and airplanes are made. I'm sure they're listening to everything being done there, everything. But it's fine. They're friendly. These are friendly drones. Now, in the future, yeah, are they going to become hostile? We don't know. If they become hostile, well, you know what? I have 1,000 videos. We can put them in a supercomputer. We can build some type of weapon to protect ourselves. We have a big clue to start with. We won't be standing around like, what do we do now? We'll have all these videos. We can analyze their behavior, their flight, how they maneuver. I could come up with something. I'm not saying it will work. It probably won't work. But I could come up with a suggestion. We could make something like...
Show them the video back.
Huh?
Show them themselves.
Yeah, we'd show them a lot of video.
This is you.
Yeah, I could show them. I could suggest to the government, if we needed to protect ourselves, we could make something like a shotgun laser. Not just one laser, a laser that shoots 50 beams. Increase your odds. Now, would it work? Probably not, but I'm just being transparent. But it's better to have this technology than not, to have this advantage, this data. But otherwise, they're friendly. They're friendly. They'd be treated friendly until they misbehave. And they've flown up to everything we have. All our military, all our government people. Nothing has happened. So.
Have you ever seen something where you identified it as a government drone as opposed to something else?
No, I have not. I would assume government drones most likely would be, the smallest would be the size, well, they'd be small, they'd be like birds, but nothing nothing that goes 1,700 miles an hour. Nothing. That's just no sonic boom, invisible to the human eye. That's not of this earth. It's just not. Are they birds or bugs? No, they're not birds or bugs. I have videos of bugs and birds. I have that. The birds, they're stationary. When you watch bird video, they're stationary. The drones fly by, even in slow motion. Now, sometimes I do call these drones dragons because I thought they were dragonflies. At first, I thought they looked like dragonflies. So these are, they're not dragonflies, but I sometimes refer to them as dragons. But they're not birds and bugs. And they're everywhere. You can go on YouTube right now. You can look up YouTube videos and watch them. Or you go to Custodian File. I've done all the hard work. You can watch them. It's all.
I hope I'm not, does anyone else have any questions? Because I have one more, so I didn't want to jump in.
Keep asking.
Yeah, have you ever been able to zoom into one and got really good detail? Like, and then also, could you share some more of your pictures?
Yes and yes. I do have one lucky zoom in photo of two. Let me see if I can find them real quick. Oh my gosh. I have one photo. Okay, let me try to find these real quickly. This one right here was being hunted. This is going to be a crazy story. So the police were working with the Coast Guard, and they asked the police to fly in. We're going to record you, and when you fly in, you're going to get tagged by this drone. I had my camera on. Here, you want to show her this picture, Jackie, please? So I knew what was going on. I zoomed in on the helicopter. So this is one of my better close-ups.
Oh.
Can you see it okay?
Yeah.
They look like
Yeah. Now you see the wings.
Birds.
You're saying, oh no, that's a bug. You see the wings?
What's that thing that you called
Those
it?
are not wings.
The Harry Potter.
I think those are plasma jets. They run on electricity. Those are the plasma jets. Just like NASA's experimenting with plasma jet engines right now, those are plasma jets. I could be wrong, but I'm rarely wrong in science, especially in pharmacy. I'm rarely wrong. I've guessed right so many times. New drugs, what's going to happen. And here is the other lucky zoom in picture. I got very lucky here. My camera was on maximum zoom. I walked away, and here it is. Two orange drones.
wow.
And what that is, here, just pass that around. What that is, those orange, when you zoom into them too closely, they do have the ability to camouflage themselves as an orange cloud, an orange light. Nobody knows this. I had to figure it out by trial and error. Now, here is a picture from YouTube that I randomly found, just luckily found. And this was recorded at an Air Force base. Coincidentally, the same Air Force base that I'm going to be lecturing at next month. I don't want to give the name.
I don't want to give the name, Marge.
I don't want to give the name because I don't want to jinx it.
Right.
It's all gonna happen.
I'll be
It's,
there.
it's going to happen, but I don't want to jinx it.
He's not going to say he's going. I'll be there.
I don't want to. But that's from the Air Force base. So those are very rare. You will see those pictures in the future, but they're very rare. But they can camouflage themselves in an orange cloud. So if you're seeing any kind of video and you see an orange cloud or something orange, that's a drone. That's a dragon. Protecting
Can you
itself.
tell us why they are drones versus dragons, or is it the same name?
It's the same name.
There you go.
So drone meaning, I'm supposed to be, not to be confused with Earth drone. And when I say drone, it's a UFO drone. I know, I should keep saying UFO drone, but it's also AKA dragon because I thought they were dragonflies. So yeah, it's definitely not an Earth drone. And I know it's confusing, I apologize for that. So we're talking about We're talking about UFO drones, very repeatable. You go to the airport right here in Las Vegas right now and record them.
So have you, okay, so one of my questions was, have they ever interacted with you? But have you ever interacted with them, or maybe got signals or transmissions?
I've interacted in the sense when I'm recording the helicopters, I'll say, fly by now, and they do. They fly by now. And I've done that 10 or 20 times. Fly by now and they'll fly by. So if you consider that an interaction, yeah, that's probably the best interaction.
But any transmissions or any kind of weird frequencies that you get when you know they're around?
I have about 5 or 6 videos of them flying by, giving off a digital sound, not audio to human understanding. It's only on tape. It can only be recorded on tape, and they're out of place and they're very loud. And the biggest one was November 2020, and I did post that on YouTube. And I gotta tell you, after I posted that one, all the government helicopters disappeared. They stopped showing up. So it's not as easy as it used to be, but the assumption is somebody in the government knows that sound and they don't want to be part of it. And they told the other helicopters, stay away from Marina Del Rey, just stay out of there. I know that sound, it's not good, stay out of there. It'd be nice if they'd tell us, but otherwise they're friendly. They're friendly. And I am experimenting, I'm doing new experimenting, and you can see it on custodian file. I took a car radar, a speeding radar device, and I attached it to the camera. And the theory is if they fly by, maybe they give off microwaves and it's going to trigger the radar. And I do have about 10 videos now of them flying by and the radar going off. It's amazing. I'm going to do that experiment for another 5 months, but it is working. It is working. And you can do this. Once you get good at it, once you know where to record these things, attach a radar detector to your camera. It will go off. It's that simple. So I'm giving you the best. I'm giving you, the rarest diamond in the world is a red diamond. Nobody really knows that. You got to be a jeweler. A red diamond. This is red diamond information I'm giving you. All this. This is the kind of stuff that you go to lectures for 5 years and you don't learn. So this is the best of the best. I'm sharing it with you. Share it with others.
Any questions?
Any of our guests? Anybody?
Any other questions?
You had mentioned 1,700 miles an hour.
Yes.
How were you able to calculate the speed of that?
Because several ways. Many of them are low on the ground, and I know the distance in Marina Del Rey, 1,000 feet from the ocean to these buildings. Also, the helicopters are 40 feet long, and they travel the distance of a helicopter in one frame. They'll fly up to the helicopter, and I'm shooting 60 frames a second. 60 frames a second, 60 times 40 feet is 2,400 feet a second. That's 1,700 miles an hour.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a great question, and it's
Any of our guests?
No sonic boom.
You have anything you guys want to ask? You have anything?
Yeah, how do you feel about the Blue Origin liftoff today?
Oh, I didn't get to watch it. Yeah, no, I'm excited about it. It's all very exciting. Because all this is it's all gonna benefit everyone. The space travel, space technology, it's gonna motivate us. It's gonna motivate, especially young people, it's gonna motivate us to go to college, to study rockets, study science, study math. And the smarter we are, the more the planet benefits, as we have a better understanding of science and how to take care of one another. So it's very positive. And that's where all this is going to. Someone's gonna wanna figure out how these drones fly, and we're going to force ourselves to learn more technology, and it's a win-win-win. It's a win-win-win.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question how do you see this evolving?
It's actually funny that she would say that, because I was actually going to ask you, at the end of the day, what is the end goal? If you could literally tell every person on Earth, what's the end goal of what you want to happen or see happen?
The end goal, again, I want a lot of people, there's a lot of smart people out there, and basically their attitude is, if I knew UFOs were real, I would apply my gift and my science and my knowledge, and I would help humanity and move forward. So if it's not real, it's like, I would invest in this, but if it's not going to pay off, I'm not going to invest, so I'm not going to utilize my talent or my knowledge. But this is real. So at the end of the day, a lot of young people, I'm going to motivate them to study science and math and rockets and electricity. And in the long run, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, the Earth is going to benefit tremendously. Tremendously. We'll have these flying cars, we'll have more efficient electricity. It's all about electricity right now. Where do we get our electricity from? We get it from oil or water or hydro dams. We're not utilizing electricity efficiently. It's like we have a gasoline car, we're getting 5 miles a gallon. We should be getting 50 miles a gallon. It's the same thing with electricity. We don't realize that the concept hasn't been introduced yet, but we are going to learn how to utilize electricity. So Hoover Dam is right here, and it powers electricity for 3 million people. We're going to be able to take that same hydro dam and take care of 30 million people once we have the technology on how to improve on it. That's the end goal. It's very exciting, and it is going to happen.
That's awesome.
It is. It will probably still be in our lifetime, I hope. Yeah.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, that's amazing. Anything else before we introduce our next guest? Anybody?
Anybody?
Good job.
Good job. That was awesome. Yay. All right. Well, I would love to introduce Miss Sophia Stewart, the writer of The Matrix and The Terminator. We actually haven't met
What?
yet, so I'm excited to meet
Oh my
you as
gosh.
well. Such an honor.
Yes,
Good.
Thank you for coming.
Oh, thank you guys. This is my husband, James.
Oh, well, come on up.
Now you're on the hot seat.
Hey, I've been on that before.
And looking mighty fine, I must say.
So, do you want to ask any questions?
So you said, go ahead and a little bit more of an introduction. And
Well, I'm Sophia Stewart, the creator and the owner of The Matrix and Terminator. I wrote a book while I was at USC. I got a degree in journalism, a double major in law and psychology, studied to be a lawyer and a doctor. And what I wrote was something futuristic, just like what Tesla or Leonardo da Vinci would write. The Terminator is the prequels, meaning it's the beginning of the epic story. So Matrix is a 7,000-year-old word for the woman's womb. It comes out of the King James's Bible. You can Google it. It's 5 times in Scripture, 3 times in Exodus, 2 times in Numbers. Exodus 34th chapter, 19th verse, God says, he who opens up the matrix will come out of the womb, or his children, including the animals, female animals. That's where God's children come out of, because in the future, as in the Terminator, man would create his own children in the laboratory. We're talking about the clones, we're talking about the drones, we're talking about test tube babies, petri dish babies, artificial inseminated babies, gender benders, gender manipulated babies, meaning no sex. Those are man's children versus God's children, the machines versus man's children. That's what the Terminator and the Matrix is really all about. Were you guys aware of that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, because the Terminator, here's the oracle's prophecy that a baby is going to be born that's going to take them out in the future. That's going to take them out in the future when they enslave mankind. So the Terminator knows the woman is Sarah Connor. She's destined to have this baby. So he time traveled to assassinate her, to take her out so she won't have this baby. Now, Kyle Reese time traveled also to protect her. But what happens is he falls in love with her while he's protecting her, gets her pregnant, and he has to go back to the future because he can't stay in the past. He came from and so it's like the Immaculate Conception, because now she's pregnant, but what happened to the love of her life. And so when you see the second Terminator, he's a teenager. He looks like a girl because I had him looking like a girl for protection, because the Terminators are looking for this male child. And then in the third Terminator, he's older, but he's subconsciously he doesn't know, or consciously he doesn't know who he is or why they're trying to kill him. And then it goes on into the Matrix, which is the future. He's hidden out in the Matrix. Machines are looking for him still. This is where it's called the rebellion, or reloaded, where he's hidden out. Then the rebels come and alert him, because now he's 30 years of age. It's time for him to do what he was created for, to go up against the machines. And at this point, they take him, because the lady with the rabbit on her, so you can see how deep the rabbit hole goes, the red and blue pill, because God's children has red blood when we get cut, but the machines is blue and black ink, or blue and black oil.
Wow.
You see. So they take him to the Oracle, first to Morpheus. Morpheus trains him to fight the machines. He goes to the Oracle for instructions, and now he's ready to fight. The agents are looking for him. The machines are looking for him. And this is what the Matrix and Terminator is really all about. And if you didn't know it, but it is a fourth installment that's been out for 11 years, the book, and since 2010. And I wrote this whole epic story while I was at USC.
Oh, wow.
I'm from New York City, a New Yorker. I've done over 4,000 media interviews. I've been to the Oscars. Matrix won 4 Oscars, and so forth. I'm known around the world. Illuminati fans, Mason fans, even mobsters here in Vegas have met me and wanted to meet me. So I'm the real thing. There's no doubt about that. So do y'all have any questions? Because Matrix and Terminator is really super. So you have any questions about?
How do you come up with the concept like the Terminator?
Well, Terminator End Time Revelations, because in Revelations, it says the second coming of the Christ child will come. There will be a new child. So I thought about what would happen for the Christ conscious to come. Because in the Bible, you read the first time when he came what was going on with the pharaohs. But the second time, it would be in the future. And when I saw Star Wars are the wars in heaven. Mm-hmm. So when Lucifer was kicked out to the earth, you see what I'm talking about? Yeah. Darth Vader is the devil, and Luke and Leia is his children, because George Lucas is explaining that on YouTube. Sure. You see what I'm talking about? So when I saw it in New York, growing up in New York at the Apollo, I said, wow, this is a Christ story. So why not do what Revelation is talking about, the second story of the second coming. So JC, Jesus Christ, grows up to be John Connor's Neo in the Matrix. Neo is an anagram for the One, Neoone. And John the Revelator was the only one to call Jesus the One. And the One is Neo. And what would be happening in the future, what you're going in on right now. I was talking about virtual reality, the metaverse. You can look it up in the 4th installment, talking about virtual penal system, virtual skateboards, virtual companies. 11 years ago, fans are reading it around the whole entire world.
It's amazing.
Did you get any revelations or visions or anything that helped you inspire?
Well, when I was reading the Bible, I was inspired. I was like, I'm a prodigy. I didn't do any high school. I took the New York Regents and went in, they gave me the high school diploma, and I went into college and got the degree. And they told me I could have got my master's at the same time as my bachelor's. So I'm a prodigy. I'm a polymath like Tesla and Leonardo da Vinci. We can crack the codes on any system and open up that system and beat it. Like when, for instance, I won the lawsuit several years ago, but they will not tell you guys. All you guys are going to get is a lot of crap on the internet. And I try to tell people, internet is not the news. It's just a distribution platform for you to make money. Anybody can troll on there. Anybody can lie on there. Anybody can say anything. You have to go to the archives and read the real news, and I'm all in the news saying I'm the creator and owner of it. But you're not gonna find it on the internet. You might find a lot of my interviews with different type of people, but I did Judge Joe Brown, Rolling Stone magazine, ABC, NBC. I've done the gamut. You know what I'm saying? Source magazine, Vibe magazine, the whole 9 yards. USA Today. So you can find this news. And I have videos for people if they want to see me at the Oscars, where there was, 2,000 journalists, then they all know who I am. It's the common people who don't know, and they go on the internet and they get all this misinformed information. And it's kind of horrible, because what is the archives for if not to get the real news? Any other questions?
Who is the real oracle?
Of course, me.
Oh my
I need
God.
an answer, I just.
Well, it's the truth. I put myself in my work, just like Stephen King, just like Spike Lee and Stan Lee. We copied off of Alfred Hitchcock. Hitchcock put himself in his work. We saw that and it was like, wow, that's amazing. So that's why I put myself in my work. And when you read my work, and if you know me, when you hear the oracle speaking, it's me speaking. Definitely.
So you have people every day saying, we need to get out of the matrix. We need to get out of the matrix.
Well, the matrix was created to unplug people from ignorance, from illusions, and from everyday lies, because the media, whoever owns the media, is telling you a lie. And we don't have free speech or free medium anymore owned by people, because there are corporations and the banks own all the media. If you don't know that, you're plugged in. And they're going to tell you what to buy, how to think, and what to eat. And anything else they want to tell you to do, they're going to tell you to do it. You're living in the matrix right now, and everything I prophesied, and the work was created with the copyrights in 81, 83, and 84. The Terminator didn't come out to October the 26th, 1984. The Matrix didn't come out to March the 31st, 1999. So the copyrights and the books come before. Just like Lords of the Ring book, J.R.R. Tolkien's, the book, the movies. I told people, the Gravity book, the Gravity movie. The Maze book, the Maze movie. Every great franchise come from some book. You know what I'm talking about? So what people normally do, if they've seen the movie first, they go look for the book. If they read the book, they'll go look for the movie. Because a movie is only going to have that much details. 1 hour and 36 minutes, no more than 2 hours and 10 or 15 minutes, that's it. So the book, 286 pages, it's got all the details.
Can you elaborate a little bit more about the mother's womb part of that?
Yes, I told people, because they really need to know this. The matrix is the womb, the woman's womb, her stargate, her portal, because that's what we have here is portals that come through. You don't come from outer space. The ships are coming through portals, and they're getting the magnetism where certain ley lines, where we have the longitudes and the latitudes, those are grids, but they have magnetism. When you see a bank, when they're surveying, and they're going to put a bank on a ley line, they're looking for magnetism. Magnetism is life. So when they're going to put a casino, they're going to put it on a certain grid, or a McDonald's. If they put it on the wrong grid, they're not going to make any money. That's what feng shui or chi or energy really means. That means they have to come in there and fix the energy so it'll start flowing where they can make money. They might have to bring in a water fountain or, some type of fountain or some other stuff to get that money flowing. If it doesn't flow, then they got to move that bank and sell it to somebody cheap, that land, and move that bank to another grid with more chi. This is why you see all the UFOs coming over Peru and the Amazon and certain places here in America, because of chi. Because they fill up on chi, just like we go to the gas station and we fill our cars up. Well, the UFOs are the same way. Different ones piled in, getting the chi, and then zooming off. So when I talk about the matrix, the woman's womb, the difference between a man and a woman is this womb. A woman can have a baby. They've been lying to you. There is no man, I don't care who he is or what Dr. Frankenstein operates on him, cut his penis off, he's never going to have a baby. He's never going to have a baby. He's never going to have an umbilical cord, the feeding tube for that baby. He's never going to have estrogen flowing through his body to expand the womb for 9 months or 36 weeks. You see what I'm talking about? He's never going to have any breast milk. The doctor can put tumors on him. A tumor is a false growth to make it look like you got breasts, but they're never going to be this. They're never going to have the milk gland. So if men keep believing the lie, and there are no women's here, then everything ends here. All of civilization dies when the last woman leaves the earth. No more birthing, nothing, just a lie. A woman and a man is not the penis in the vagina. It is the matrix. It is the womb. It is a stargate, a portal to bring you into this earthly dimension, which is physical. Because the first body of God's children is the astral body, which is spirit. The second body is the physical body, which takes the 9 months or 36 weeks. The third body is the seed, which is called the soul. When the soul attaches to the physical body at the 12th week, the doctor will not perform an abortion because he's killing a living being. Now, you can take the pill after, you can do, it'll be just blood, water, and spirit that comes down in a period up to 11 weeks. A doctor can do that. You can get rid of it if you want to, because it'll go right back to the blood, and the spirit will be the astral body waiting to be birthed, and nothing will happen. But at the 12th week, if a doctor performs an abortion, he's killing a living soul. Because the seed of an apple or an orange or a tree is life. And everything that God has created upon the earth is a living entity, including the elements, the water, the earth, the air, the fire. They're all living elements. You can speak to them, the trees, you can talk to them. They understand. What you've been taught is that they are just like this chair. No, this chair, this desk, this carpet, all of the physical things man has made, guns, they won't do anything. They won't rub your back. They won't get you any food, no soup. They will do nothing but sit there until you put some chi or energy to utilize them. Very important that people need to understand that. And I had a man who was talking to me. He said, well, God created everything. I said, no, 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 no. God did not create everything. He made man a co-creator. He said, well, show me one thing that God did not make. I said, do you remember the mule? And he said, yes. I said, do you remember it's big like a horse, but with the horse is weak. Strong like a donkey, but the donkey is little. But when man crossbred them, he got the mule, but the mule cannot duplicate, cannot have a baby because it's a hybrid created by man. Every hybrid created by man cannot replicate. It has no seed. Its body is seedless and soulless as seedless grapes, seedless watermelons, seedless oranges. Now the cats and the dogs and the animals, they look at that seedless grape, they look at that seedless apple, they're like, They see what it really is. One amoeba, a living organism, but it's horrible to them. They won't eat it. But we have been trained by the eyes. We've been fooled with delusions. So what we see is that orange or that apple. And we like eating it, watermelon, no seeds. Because everything that has the seeds, when you get through eating the apple, you spit out the seeds, the rain comes, and it grows. Because my birth is Cherokee and Portuguese. So I'm close to spirit, earth. My grandmother was a shaman. I'm a shaman, a healer shaman. So I'm speaking the truth. If you don't believe me, Google it, research it. This is real. Now, they're not going to teach you this because you're programmed every day. You're programmed by tell a lie with a vision, television. Tell a lie with a vision, television.
Wow.
Right? They're telling you a lie with a vision. Media. They're lying to you, a lot of them. They're just telling you a lie and they're programming you. That's what the billboards are about. That's what the television is about. The magazines, newspaper, radio, billboards, all of that is programming you every day. So every time you look at a sign, every time you look at television, every time you look at a movie, every time you look at a magazine, you're being programmed. Any questions?
Yes. Can I have a question?
We're used to asking questions.
Back to the Matrix. Can you describe what was the difference between when they're like on that ship, you know, when they get plugged in, as opposed to when they're in the green, you know, out with the...
In the ship, when you program, that is just a metaphor that's saying that you're literally plugged in right now. And when you get to the truth, that is what unplug you. So that's what the whole premises of the movie is talking about. Consciously, you're programmed and you're plugged into those programs. And then when you start to wake up and learn the truth, you're unplugged. And the red and the blue pill is about choices. You can choose to sleep and lie like Cypher and know that you're not eating any steak, that you're not eating a seedless watermelon, a seedless grape. You're not really eating. You're eating a living organism, but it's not a real apple. It's not a real watermelon or a real grape. So you see what I'm talking about? You can take the real red pill and see how deep the rabbit hole goes, see how deep the lies go here. Or you can just simply do like Cypher. No, you're not eating any steak. You know what I'm talking about? You're eating mush. But some people love the lie. Some people will kill for the lie. And some people will keep others in the lie because they're not strong enough to break free. So that's what that's about.
So when they're unplugged and they're on like a ship or something, that's...
Well, that's a movie. But when you read the book is more real, but movies are supposed to entertain you. So if they put it like in the book, you won't be entertained. So I know because I went to one of the super film, schools, USC. I went to school with Marcus Allen, Ronnie Lott, James Sinclair, August Curley, Dennis Johnson, the Moore brothers, those people I went to. I used to I was engaged to marry Muhammad Ali, but he was way older. And I was also with the superstar Anthony Davis, who was a Heisman winner also, and Marcus Allen, a Heisman winner.
Wow, so yeah, I definitely have to get the books.
Oh yeah, you didn't even know the books were, these books has been out for a long time. My copyrights are 81, 83, and 84. Like I told you, the Terminator didn't come out until October the 26th, 1984. Matrix didn't come out until March the 31st, 1999. The book has so much information that they divided them into two franchises, but it goes back together as one. Even though you're making these two franchises, they don't make sense without each other. Where's the Terminator going? He has to go into the Matrix. Where's the Matrix going? It's the future. So it's going to continue.
So are you writing? Are you writing anything right now?
I've written a lot of stuff.
Wow.
So much stuff.
What comes after the Matrix?
Matrix was my baby work. That was my baby work that won 4 Oscars. I have written so much stuff. When the Gods Walk the Earth, The Beast Among Us. I'm a master writer, so I've written comedy, I've written espionage, mystery, adventure, drama. I've written anything you can imagine I can write. I can listen to your story and write it.
Wow.
Janet Jackson's story, tell us about that.
Janet Jackson's were the ones who discovered me. Joe Jackson and I went on the Oscars, I think it was 2015, on the red carpet. And Joe, before he passed away, acknowledged that the Jacksons were the ones who discovered me. I did Janet Jackson's first television feature films. And also, I know the family and still friends with them for over 30 years.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
This was in the
That's
80s
amazing.
when I met them, 1980.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Any other questions?
How long did it take you to write Terminator and the Matrix?
It took me 3 years to write the book. I took my time. I started at USC, right there, writing the book there. That's why the copyrights were 81, 83, and 84. The book was written in 84, and it was out with people buying it and getting it. Was published and all of that.
That's amazing.
Oh, you can go on Amazon right now. If you get your phone out, everybody get your phone out, and read the 5-star reviews. Put in Sophia Stewart. Sophia, like the movie actress, with the PHIA. Stewart, with like Jimmy Stewart with the T. Put in Sophia Stewart on Amazon and watch my books. I've written 4 books on Matrix and Terminator. Now, all the media and the people, Illuminati fans, mobster fans, all kinds of fans, the celebrity fans, everybody knows me but the common people. I'm sorry that the common people don't know me, but everybody else knows who I am. My face is not exposed, but my name, somebody just put me on TikTok, and I got over 1 million views instantly because of my
That's
name.
amazing.
But they don't know my face. I'm glad of that, because I can go any place I want. Usually I take bodyguards with me. I have 5 bodyguards when I go to public events.
Is the chosen one here? Is the chosen one born?
The chosen one, you're talking about for this event, what's happening now with the plague? Because that's what it is.
Just the
plague.
revelations and the end times and whatever.
We're in the end times. We are in Revelations. Like I told you, the virtual penal system is coming, because the plague, this is just the beginning of a reset. When I mean a virtual penal system, in the future, it got too expensive to take care of the prisoners in jail. It got too expensive to feed them, to get them insured, the guards, all of that. Everything is getting ready to change in a major way, and you need to get ready for those changes. And it's going to blow your mind. But the new penal system is these laser rings, white laser rings around the body and the arms. Because in the future, coming now, because what I've written is prophecy, you will become your own judge, jury, and executioner. If you cannot control yourself, and you snatch a purse, it's going to activate the rings, cut your hand off, and heal you at the same time. When the satellites start ruling here, which is coming, the satellites will be able to actually come down on you, videotape you committing an act, a crime. They'll have you on videotape. They will send the drone. The drones in the future are going to be bigger. They're little now, but they're going to be massive and big. Meaning you're going to be drone planes, drone cars, drone everything. You see what I'm saying? What they're going to do for the penal system, that virtual penal system, when you commit a crime and they know, they've seen it, caught it on satellite, they're going to wheel you in on a gurney, and they're going to insert a chip the size of a pinhead, in the delicate part of your brain, so anybody tries to come and take it out. Because right now, you chip anybody, you can cut it out. You got the low jacks in your hands. Everybody that's got a phone has a low jack. Everybody. That's why they want you to have the Obama phone. That's why they want you to have a phone, because you're low jacked. That means they can track you anywhere. I don't care if you go to Moscow. I don't care if you go to Russia. It is a chip. So back to the penal system. They'll put you in there and they'll let you go wild. As soon as you commit another crime, the satellites will zoom in because they're tracking you. The new jobs Look, great. Cameras, screens. The size of these screens are bigger. The parole officers, the correction officers will be monitoring you on the screens. And they will send out, like I told you, after you have been chipped, they will send out the drones. The drones will come in, open up like a giant claw, suck you in, and sedate you. Because he can hack it. So they want you to sleep. So you can't hack the drone and tell it to go someplace else. Bring you to Homeland Security, take you out of there on a gurney while you're sedated, and insert the rings. Now you're walking around in public, but everybody knows you're in jail.
Jeez.
Everybody knows this is the new penal system in the future, because everything becomes virtual. We're coming into, that's why they want to change Facebook to Metaverse, because they read this. I've talked about the Matrix attraction. The Matrix world is a virtual world. And what I'm going to tell you, they can track you and they'll bring you back. Now, if you go out and run from Homeland Security or SWAT or the cops, can activate the ring, cut your feet off, cut your leg off to stop you. Now, you kill somebody, it activates the ring automatically and it cuts your head off. And it's not going to heal you back. You go home, they're going to receive the rings. Somebody come in there to see you, they're coming back on. You step out the door, the rings are coming back on to protect you. Now, in the future, people are going to be ignoring the people in jail. They can talk to you, they can interact with you, but like I told you, if they do anything, it activates the ring automatically.
Wow. So
Okay. We're gonna wrap it up in here because we've got another guest coming in to speak.
Oh, great.
But we are actually gonna take it over to our booth.
Can I make a quick comment?
Yes.
So, 4 years ago, I went to this facility. I don't want to name any names, but they're building the largest satellite network in the world, 44,000 satellites.
Oh, yes.
And I don't want to name any names, but they specifically told me that each one will have a camera and they will monitor every square inch on the earth. In the middle of the ocean, they will have live feed.
Exactly. Let me tell you how it's going to be. It's going to be so many satellites in the sky, and they're called the eye in the sky in my book. That's why it's called the eye, the third eye, Terminator, End Time, Revelations, Matrix, Womb. Well, what happens is the plague takes out a lot of people. That's what's going on right now. 7 billion people on the earth. That is going to just atrophy till they're, and especially all the older people, the baby boomers and on, they're all going to be gone that knows the truth. All of the millennials that keep coming, they don't even know what's going on. The satellites are going to change everything. It's going to open up doors. It's going to keep going on. And they're just going to walk around and take it for granted. That's why they're all in the phone. But the satellites are going to rule the whole earth, and they're going to be just like God is in the sky. But they won't know, because all the people knew about the satellites, all of them that was launched up there, they're all dead. So now the satellites is providing everything for these young millennials. And they're taking it for granted. But everything is operating, and they have no clue where it's coming from.
well,
And then I'm going to go ahead.
yeah, that ends this
Matrix
portion.
Evolution. That is the fourth install. Not revolution, not resuscitation, not resurrection, because resuscitation means to resuscitate something dead. The Matrix is not dead. The continuation is the Matrix. The rebellion reloaded, revolution, evolution, because now these new machines that I'm talking about is coming, and they're a greater threat for Neo. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, so we're going to move this over to the Midnight Gypsies table, and then
For
we'll
the new
go from
people
there.
that came in that not quite sure what's going on, she is the writer and creator of the Terminator and the Matrix.
Yay, yay. Thank you so much.
That's my first thing. I have lots of